9 things people see when they die. Biblical understanding. What really happens the moment your heart stops beating? What do people see in those final, fleeting seconds before crossing into eternity? Is it darkness, emptiness, or something far beyond human understanding? If you've ever lost someone you loved with every fiber of your soul, you've probably asked yourself these questions. Where are they now? Did they see the light? Are they finally at peace? The grief can be unbearable, the silence deafening. You sit there, staring at old photos, feeling the weight of an empty chair at the dinner table. The world moves on, but inside, the pain lingers. The love you shared? It never dies. It transforms, shifts, takes on a different form, but it never fades. What if I told you that the Bible, along with first-hand near-death experiences, reveals exactly what happens in those final moments? What if I told you that death is not the end, but the beginning of something far greater? This video will take you beyond the veil, beyond the mystery. We will uncover 9 things people see when they die, things so profound, so life-altering, they change everything we thought we knew. Imagine, for just a moment, you're standing at the edge of life itself. Your breath slows, your body weakens. Then, suddenly, you see them, familiar faces, loved ones who have gone before you. They're not memories. They're waiting, watching, guiding. Is this real? Or just the mind's last flickering illusion? The answer will shock you. But that's just the beginning. As the world you knew fades, something strange happens. The weight of money, houses, possessions, all the things you spent a lifetime chasing, vanishes. None of it matters anymore. A great, undeniable truth is revealed. Then, the impossible, you rise above your own body. You see everything. The tears, the sorrow, the grief of those left behind. You try to speak, to reach them, but they can't hear you. And in that moment, you realize death is not what you thought. Stay with me. This journey will challenge what you believe, but by the end, you'll never see life or death the same way again. Let's begin. 1. They see loved ones who pass before them. The moment death arrives, something extraordinary happens. The air shifts, the world blurs, and suddenly, they are not alone. They see them, the ones who left first, the ones who walked this road before. It is not a dream, not a fading memory. They are there. Picture your mother, your father, a beloved grandparent, gone for years, yet now standing before you, waiting with open arms. Their eyes filled with love, their faces calm, radiant, as if they knew this moment was coming. They are here to guide you, to take your hand, to lead you home. But how? How is this possible? The Bible holds the answer. He is not the God of the dead, but of the living, for to him all are alive. Luke 20 verse 38. To us, they're gone, but to God, they never left. People who have experienced near-death moments describe it the same way. They say the dead are waiting. They say there is no fear, only a deep peace. Some have even reported a soft, floral scent filling the air, a sign from beyond, a whisper from eternity. Can you imagine? Closing your eyes in this world and opening them to the faces you thought you'd never see again? Your grandmother, standing at the foot of your hospital bed. Your father, waiting by the gates of heaven. The best friend you lost too soon, smiling, reaching for your hand. This is not fantasy. This is real. Ecclesiastes 12 verse 7 tells us, "Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it." The moment you leave your body, you return to where you came from. And waiting for you are the ones who loved you first. But why? Why do they come? Because no one crosses alone. No one walks that final road in fear. God sends them to welcome you, to lead you, to remind you death is not the end. Have you ever heard of a dying person looking past you, eyes wide, staring at something invisible? Have you ever seen them whisper names of loved ones, reaching out to people who aren't there? It happens more than we realize. And now you know why. The next time you sit beside a loved one in their final moments, watch closely. If their eyes soften, if they smile through their pain, If they whisper, "I see them," believe them. They are not alone, and neither will you be. This is just the first revelation, the first truth about what happens when we leave this world. And yet there is more, much more. What comes next will shake you to your core. Let's continue. 2. They feel a detachment from their material possessions. What if, in the end, none of it mattered? The house you spent decades paying off, the car you polished every Sunday morning, the bank account, the investments, the retirement savings. You worked so hard to build it all. But in the final moment, when breath fades, when the soul prepares to leave, it all slips away. Not slowly, not piece by piece, all at once. You are standing at the edge of eternity, looking back at your life. And suddenly, the things that once consumed your thoughts, your home, your possessions, your wealth, mean nothing. You can't take them with you. And you realize you never truly own them at all. For we brought nothing into this world, and we can take nothing out of it. 1 Timothy 6, verse 7. Everything you worked for, everything you held on so tightly, is left behind. The money, the success, the status, it all fades into the background like a distant memory. What once felt so important now feels meaningless. Imagine, for a moment, you are lying in a hospital bed. Machines hum softly. The air is thick with whispered prayers. Your family is gathered, their eyes filled with love and sorrow. But do you think, in that moment, about your stock portfolio? Do you cling to your jewelry, your designer clothes, your prized possessions? No. You think about the people you love. You think about the moments that mattered. The laughter shared at the dinner table. The hands you held in times of sorrow. The nights you stayed up, comforting a crying child. You realize this was the real treasure. Jesus warned us of this very thing. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moths and vermin destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. Matthew 6 verses 19 to 20. Because when your final moment comes, your wealth can't save you. Your possessions can't comfort you. The only thing that remains is your soul. So, what did you do with your time? Did you love? Did you forgive? Did you give more than you took? At the threshold of death, a great truth is revealed. It was never about what you owned. It was about who you were. And in that moment, as you prepare to cross into eternity, the burdens of this world fall away. The weight of material things disappears. And for the first time, you feel light, free, ready, because now you understand. Everything you thought was important never truly was. What happens next will shake you even more. Let's continue. 3. They see their own body from above. What if, in the moment of death, you were still there, but no longer inside your body? Imagine it. Your last breath slips away. The weight of this world fades. And suddenly, you are floating, watching, seeing everything from above. Your body lies still, motionless. Loved ones gather around, their faces filled with sorrow. Tears fall, hands tremble, prayers rise into the air. You hear them cry, but you can't reach them. You try to speak, but no words come out. You are there, and yet you are not. This is what countless people have described in near-death experiences. They leave their bodies, looking down from above, witnessing their own passing. How is this possible? The Bible tells us, as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. James 2 verse 26. When the spirit departs, the body is just an empty vessel. And in that moment, you understand the truth. You were never your body. You were something more. You see everything. The shaking hands of a son holding his mother's fingers for the last time. The wife whispering, "Don't go," hoping, praying for just one more moment. The daughter pressing her face against her chest, as if holding on could stop time. And you feel it all. Their pain, their love, their loss. But something else happens. Something even more profound. You realize you're not afraid. There is no panic, no confusion, only peace. A calm so deep, so overwhelming, it silences every fear you ever had about death. You are free. Death is not what you thought it was. It is not an end. It is a beginning. At that moment, You understand that life was never about the years you lived, but the love you gave. Not about what you built, but the people you touched. You see it all. Your impact, your presence, the space you filled in their lives. And as you watch, you begin to let go. This is just the first step of a journey beyond anything you ever imagined. And what happens next is even more extraordinary. 4. They visit the dreams of the living to say goodbye. What if death wasn't the last goodbye? What if, even after taking their final breath, the ones we love still find a way to reach us? Have you ever had a dream so real, so vivid, it felt like more than just a dream? A moment where you saw them, the one you lost, standing before you, speaking without words, looking at you with eyes that held more love than pain, and then you wake up, heart pounding, tears streaming. Was it just a dream? Or was something more? Thousands of people have experienced this. A final visit, a whispered farewell from beyond, a last chance to ease the pain, to let us know they're at peace. But how? How is this possible? The Bible tells us, "For he will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways." Psalm 91 verse 11. God does not leave his children in darkness. Even in death, there is a way, a path back to those we love, even if just for a moment. Imagine this. Someone you love has just passed. Their spirit, now free, sees everything, the pain, the sorrow, the unbearable weight left behind. They can't stay, but before they go, they have one last mission, one last chance to comfort you. So, they find you in the quiet of the night, not in flesh, not in words, but in spirit, in the only place where heaven and earth meet, your dreams. And for that brief moment, they're there. They hold your hand, they wipe your tears. You hear their voice, not with your ears, but with your soul. "I'm okay. Don't be afraid. I love you always." Then, just like that, they're gone. But the feeling lingers. A warmth in your chest, a peace that wasn't there before. And deep inside, they didn't just disappear. They didn't leave you forever. They came back, if only for a moment, to tell you what you needed to hear. Death is not the end. Love never fades, and they are not truly gone. Have you ever had a dream like this? A moment where you woke up with tears in your eyes, knowing it was real? 5. They see their own life as a movie. What if, in your final moment, your entire life unfolded before you? Every decision, every mistake, every moment of joy, every moment of regret, all of it laid bare before your eyes. Would you be proud, or would you wish for more time? Many who have come close to death describe something incredible. They say it's like watching a movie, but it's not just memories. It's a full review of their life. The best moments, the worst ones, the times they lifted someone up, and the times they let someone down. There are no lies in this moment, no excuses, only truth. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each of us may receive what is due us for the things done while in the body, whether good or bad. 2 Coríntios 5:10. Imagine seeing yourself, not as you thought you were, but as you truly were. The words you spoke, the ones that healed and the ones that hurt. The love you gave and the love you withheld. The times you followed God's path and the times you turn away. What would you feel? Some describe overwhelming joy, seeing the moments where they showed kindness, where they forgave, where they chose love over anger. Others describe deep sorrow, seeing the times they wasted, the people they hurt, the opportunities they ignored. There is no voice condemning them. No accusation, only understanding. And then a question emerges, not from outside, but from within. Did I live well? Did I love enough? Did I cherish the time I had? Did I make my days count? Or did I let them slip away? For some, the answer is peace. For others, regret. But in this moment, there is one final realization. Life was never about wealth, power, or success. It was about love. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Psalm 90 verse 12. Not $1, not one possession, not one earthly title follows you into eternity. Only the love you gave, the kindness you showed, the lives you touched, And as the final scene of their life plays, they understand the greatest truth of all. What we do in this life echoes in eternity. The past cannot be changed, but for those still here, there is still time. 6. They encounter a bright light. What if at the very end, there was no darkness, no fear, no confusion, no emptiness, just light, a warmth so overwhelming it wraps around the soul like an embrace, a brilliance so pure it illuminates not just the eyes, but the heart. For centuries, people who have come close to death describe the same thing, a light unlike anything on earth. It does not burn, it is not blind, it calls. And in that moment, standing at the edge of eternity, one truth becomes undeniable. They are not alone. God is light. In him, there is no darkness at all. 1 John 1 verse 5. Imagine it. You take your last breath. The world fades. And suddenly, there it is, the light. It is not far away. It is everywhere, surrounding you, pulling you forward. Some say it feels like love itself, a love beyond words, beyond understanding. Others say it is a presence, a voice without sound, whispering without words. Come home. And in that moment, every fear of death disappears. Because now they know, death is not falling into the unknown. It is returning to the one who created you. But what is this light? Is it simply the brain shutting down? A trick of the mind? Or is it something more, a doorway? Jesus himself said, "I'm the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." John 8 verse 12. Could this be what they see? Not just light, but him? Because in this moment, they realize something profound. They're not afraid. They do not wish to turn back. They do not long for the things of this world. All that mattered before, money, success, regret, pain, none of it follows them here. Only peace remains. And as they step forward towards the light, they understand the truth they had spent their whole life searching for. Life was never meant to last forever. It was meant to lead them here, to this place, to this light, to this love. And for those who have seen it, there is no question. Heaven is real. The journey is not over. It is only just beginning. Let's continue. 7. They discover the purpose of their life. What if, in the final moments, everything suddenly made sense? Every joy, every heartbreak, every moment of laughter, every tear shed in silence, all of it woven together in a perfect design. For the first time, they see it, the meaning behind it all. People who have come close to death describe a shocking realization. Nothing was random. Every challenge, every trial, every triumph, it was all part of something greater. A plan they never fully understood while they were alive. And now, standing at the threshold of eternity, they finally see it. Their life had a purpose. There's a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. Think about it. Have you ever questioned why you suffered? Why some prayers went unanswered? Why God allowed certain things to happen? In life, we wrestle with these questions. We beg for understanding. But in death, the answers come. They see how their struggles shaped them, how their kindness rippled into eternity, how every choice, good or bad, led them to this exact moment. And suddenly, regret fades, because now they understand. The pain had a purpose. The waiting had a reason. The lessons were never wasted. They see the people they helped, even when they thought they had done nothing. They see the moments where their smallest act of kindness changed someone's life. And then, the biggest realization of all, God was with them the entire time. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8 verse 28. Even in their darkest hours, even when they felt abandoned, he was there, guiding them, loving them, preparing them for this very moment. And now, as they step closer to the light, one truth fills their soul. Life was never about what they achieved. It was never about wealth, fame, or success. It was about love. It was about faith. It was about becoming the person God created them to be. And now, As they take their final step, they know they have fulfilled their purpose. They are ready. Let's continue. 8. They see the afterlife. What if the moment you leave this world, you step into another? Not emptiness, not silence, but a place so breathtaking, so radiant, it defies words. For centuries, people who have glimpsed the afterlife describe the same thing. A world more real than this one. A place of unimaginable beauty, filled with light, peace, and a love so overwhelming, it consumes every fear. And in that moment, standing at the edge of eternity, they see it. Heaven. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Revelation 21 verse 1. Imagine it. You take your final step beyond this world, and suddenly everything changes. The colors, brighter than anything on earth. The air, pure, filled with warmth, flowing through you like life itself. The landscape, rolling hills, crystal clear rivers, fields of golden light stretching beyond the horizon. And then the people, they are waiting. The ones who left before, the ones you never thought you'd see again. Their faces glow with a joy so deep, it brings tears to your eyes. They welcome you, arms open, hearts full. But there's something else. As you move forward, the beauty around you grows. The sky shimmers, alive with colors not seen on earth. The air hums with music, not from instruments, but from the very fabric of creation itself. Every breath, every step, fills you with a peace you have never known. Because now you are home. Blessed are those who are invited to the wedding supper of the Lamb. Revelation 19 verse 9. Heaven is not empty. It is alive. And at the center of it all, there is light. A presence. A throne. You walk forward, drawn by something far greater than yourself. You realize this is what your soul has longed for all your life. Not wealth, not success, not power, but this moment, this place. Then you remember every fear you had, every doubt, every moment you questioned whether heaven was real. And now you stand in it. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no human mind has conceived the things God has prepared for those who love him. 1 Corinthians 2 verse 9. This is not an illusion. This is reality. Everything you lost is restored. Everything broken is made whole. And for the first time, in what feels like forever, you understand. This was the destination all along. And as you take another step, the light grows brighter. The love grows stronger. The presence ahead is waiting. What happens next is beyond anything you have ever imagined. Let's continue. 9. They see and recognize God. What if at the very end, you stood before him, not as a distant idea, not as a hope whispered in prayer, but face to face. For a lifetime, we search, we question, we wonder if he is really there, if he sees us, if he hears our cries. And then, in the final moment, every doubt, every fear vanishes. Because there he is. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 12. Imagine it. You step deeper into the light. The world behind you fades. And suddenly you feel it. A presence beyond anything you have ever known. A love so vast, so consuming, it fills every part of you. Not just around you, within you. And then the light shifts. It is not just light. It is him, God, not a distant ruler. Not an untouchable force, but the source of all things, the one who formed the stars, the one who shaped the earth, the one who knew your name before time began. And in that moment, you remember every prayer you whispered in the dark, every tear you cried when you thought he wasn't there, every time you reached out for him, wondering if he was listening. He was. Before a word is on my tongue, you, Lord, know it completely. Psalm 139 verse 4. And now, standing before him, you see the truth. He was never far away. He was there in your joys. He was there in your struggles. He was there in every breath, every heartbeat, guiding you home. And then he speaks, not with words, but with a voice that fills your soul. Welcome home. A peace beyond understanding washes over you. Every burden, every sorrow gone, every question you carried, every doubt that weighed you down, they no longer matter. Because now you see, you make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand. Psalm 16, verse 11. This is the moment your soul has longed for since the beginning. To be home, to be known, to be fully, completely loved. And as you stand in his presence, surrounded by glory, you understand the greatest truth of all. Life was never about the things you built. It was never about what you achieved, what you owned, what you feared. It was about this, about finding your way back to him. And now you have. Eternity has begun, and you're finally home. So now you know, at the moment of death, everything changes. The world you knew gone. The life you built left behind. And in its place, something far greater. A truth that has been waiting since the beginning of time. You are not alone. You never were. Your loved ones are there, waiting to welcome you. The burdens of this world, the stress, the regrets, the struggles, fade away. You see your own body from above, watching the ones you love weep, wishing you had one more moment to tell them, I am okay. You visit their dreams. You whisper your goodbyes. And then, your life unfolds before you. A complete, undeniable truth of who you were, what you did, and how you loved. And then the light. A brightness unlike anything on earth. A presence so overwhelming, so beautiful, so pure, that every fear disappears. You see the afterlife, not a void, not a question, but a promise fulfilled. And at the end of it all, you see him. The one you have prayed to, the one you have called out to in the darkest nights. The one who never left you, even when you doubted, even when you felt lost. And in that moment, nothing else matters. Not the money, not the success, not the mistakes. Only this. This is the final truth, the final destination, the moment you were created for. But ask yourself, are you ready? If this was your last day, if this was your final breath, where would you go? Would you be standing in the light? Would you be welcomed with open arms? Or would you be lost, searching, wondering if you had done enough? You still have time. You are here. You are breathing. And right now, at this very moment, God is waiting. So don't wait until it's too late. Speak to him now. Open your heart, surrender your burdens, and ask him to guide you home. Drop your prayer in the comments below. Tell him what is on your heart. Ask for forgiveness, for strength, for the faith to follow his path. Because when your time comes, when your name is called, this is the only thing that will matter. Will you be ready? Let's pray together. Type Amen below if you believe.